What's up, everybody? My name is Jesse, and I'm the founder and grandmaster of MMA, Mexican martial arts. I'm also the creator and founder of the Below the Beanie podcast. And you are listening or watching to episode 4 right now. And if you are listening on Spotify only, I want to let you know that I look very good today. Very nice and refreshed. Very well rested. No bags under the eyes. No sketchy wrinkles from sleeping with too many pillows and stuff. Do you guys ever have that problem where you like, I can't sleep. I cannot sleep unless I do that thing with my arm. Like, I need to get one of those boyfriend pillows, but like a girlfriend one, where you could like put your arm. I don't know how to explain it, but I always sleep like that. Like, if I'm not like that, I can't sleep. I gotta go like that. I try to fight it because I already know how I'm gonna wake up in pain, but then like, I'll lay there, we'll roll around for like 2-3 hours. Finally, I'm like, whatever. I just go like that, and then I wake up. Oh, like I got this thing right here in my upper shoulder because I do that, and it hurts. I got it right here right now. Can you hear this? Let me see. I hope it does. Every time I try to show someone, it doesn't do it. Let me see if you can hear right now. I'm gonna put it to the mic. Oh, you're gonna play like that? It's like when you take your shoulders to the mechanic. Look it. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, that's annoying. Okay, I'll try to do it later if I can feel it. Sometimes you know how you can feel it coming when you got to do that pop. I wasn't feeling it right now. I just wanted to force it. But I'm well rested. I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. It's a little bit hard right now because when I do these, I can't have the fan on because it'll affect the audio. But I'm ready. I'm here for you. This is take 38 of episode number 4. Yesterday, I was trying to record this. I'm recording this here now on Wednesday morning. You know what? To be honest, I like doing it that way. I kind of like the idea of being ready, having some stuff in the pocket ready to go, so I could kind of get ahead and schedule stuff like that. But I don't know. There's something about doing it the day of. It feels the most current. It feels the most realistic and raw, and I like doing it like that. Anyway, I tried to do it yesterday because now I'm working on 2 breakdowns. I got inspired the other day. I put the breakdown I've been working on forever on hold. I started another one now. And I wanted to get the podcast done so I could work on the breakdown. And man, 37 takes. And I was like, I'm not feeling it today. I kept resetting it. And then one of them, I got 34 minutes in. And I was like, you know what, I'm not feeling it. I just kept like pausing. I was like, I don't want pauses in here. I don't want cuts. Like, I was just like incoherent. I was like De La Hoya. I was just rambling. I was like, hey, baby, USSR. And just like foaming at the mouth and whatnot. I was like, I can't go out like this. They're going to put me on the Yahoo homepage tomorrow. Which might have been a good idea. That might have been my big break. So look, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm on to gold. And then I delete it. Actually, I don't know if I deleted that one. I remember last time people were telling me, you shouldn't have deleted it. You should have saved. I think I might have saved that one because I was in the back of my mind. And then I closed my laptop and I was all mad and I left. I want to let you know that this episode is sponsored again by my Patreon and my YouTube membership, because a whole week went by and I forgot to fix my promo code. But that's all right. Because the Patreon and the YouTube membership is the lifeblood of this channel right now. So, and Kirkland, if Kirkland would stop playing, if Kirkland, look it, I'm not trying to be like, how do they say it? I'm not trying to do like, what's that one thing that my lady always does to me? Like, I'm not trying to give you like ultimatums or nothing like that. I'm just trying to like, I'm just asking you to do the right thing. Cause look, I haven't been able to get to Costco in like 3 weeks, and I've been pouring Lipton into this Kirkland just to be faithful. And I'm waiting on you to do the right thing. And next episode, I might be holding a Lipton bottle. And I may be pouring Kirkland into it. I might have even gone to Costco by then. I have a couple cases out there at Kirkland. But I'm going to be pouring it into that Lipton. I don't play games. All right? I've been faithful. It's like Dwight Schrute said. I am paid for my faithfulness, and I'll be faithful to whoever will pay me the most. So Kirkland, I prefer you. I want you to do the right thing, but I'm not sure if you're going to. So I'm right here. I've been right here. I think I just got some wetness on my microphone. So we'll see how that sounds. And we'll see if you have anything to say, Kirkland. But I don't know. I think wait, that wasn't even my finish. My sponsors, Patreon and YouTube membership. If you want to get in there, if you're already in there, I thank you. I plan on making another video before the end of the week. Like I said last week, I want to make one every single week now, just to give you guys a little peek. I've been working on this other character for actually quite a few years, but I just haven't like put it out there. You know, I like doing these podcasts as myself, just chilling, just like off the dome. From the heart, below the beanie, just giving it to you raw and real, you know. But sometimes I like to just play around, have some fun. So I developed this character that I call Vincent. And on the Patreon, I come on as that character, and then I'll just talk about random stuff and behind the scenes stuff, and just give you like a little peek into whatever's going on that day. So if you're interested in stuff like that, that's where you go scope it out. I appreciate it. But one of the things I was trying to figure it out. Like, first of all, one of the problems I have, because I was trying to get to the bottom of it yesterday, like, what's going on with me? Because I've been really enjoying doing this podcast. I press the thing and I'm like, let's go. I like it. It's fun. It's been smooth. But yesterday I couldn't find that rhythm. I couldn't get into it. And I was like, what is happening? I thought this was going to be like that one thing I wasn't going to have any problems with. It was going to be smooth sailing. And one of the things I think is because I think I was too awake. I barely woke up right now, and I was like, you know what? I feel like doing a podcast. When you go in there like a little bit, like just a little bit de la Jolla, just a little bit, like 30%, you feel like kind of good. You feel like you're riffing. You feel like you're a little creative. Like when I'm too awake, when I'm too coherent, it's like, all right, now I'm down to business. Now I'm thinking about what I got to do with this and how I got to write that and how I got to get this thing done. But I feel a little bit loosey-goosey still. In the morning, I feel good. And I'm in that right mindset. Yesterday, I think it was too late. Another thing that I think was bothering me yesterday was that I had a very traumatic and very dramatic event take place in my life. I was a little bit, I got done wrong, you know? There's like not that many ways I could say it. I got done wrong. I got by one of my heroes. Today's Wednesday. This is Wednesday morning right now. And Monday night, I got disrespected and neglected by someone that I look up to. Well, metaphorically, very much. And that's Mr. Bobby Lee. And I know what some of you are thinking right now. Oh, you're just talking about that fool so you could put him in your title and your thumbnail and whatnot and get clicks and stuff like that for more exposure. How dare you? How dare you? I want to tell you what happened that night. Monday, I was recording a podcast with the homies from We Out Here MMA. And you already know who they are if you've been here for a while. I talk about them all the time. I like that channel. I support that channel. I've done 2-3 episodes with them. I've hopped on live streams with them. I bit my cheek right now. I do that like 2 times a podcast. I always bite my cheek. And it's a problem in my life. I think I need to go to the dentist so they could like burn off I have like scar tissue in there and I always bite it. It plagues me. But I did a podcast with Bobby Lee. Technically. Because I was doing one with the homies from We Out Here MMA on Monday night. And I was happy. I love doing videos with them. Every time, I love it. I have so much fun. And I got in there. I got into the Zoom. And right away, they start talking about Bobby Lee. And they're like, hey, did you text him? Is he gonna show up? Is he here? Is he? And I was like, oh, they're playing. Because I told him before that I'm a big old Bobby Lee fan. Wait, hold on. I'm feeling a little bit parched. Let me get some green tea. Which happens to be Kirkland at the moment. I thought it was for my benefit. They start talking about Bobby and they're like, oh, is he here? Did you text him? What'd he say? Hurry up and text him. Keep looking at your phone. All right, we'll wait. And I was like, oh, they're trolling me. Because they know I'm a big fan. Look it. I'm a big fan of Bobby Lee. And I've been a fan. I'm not one of these new, like, I just jumped on because I'm like, oh, I know how to use YouTube. Oh, nosotros papaya. Oh, Tiger Valley. No. I listen to Tiger Valley. I listen to Bad Friends. But I was there since day one. I was telling them, I was walking around my house when I was a little kid going, oh, hot dog. I would tell my brother when he would say, hey, did you do that? Sometimes I do. Like, that was me. I've been there. I've been riding with Bobby Lee. Through the ups and downs, through everything. So I was like, oh, they're playing. They just want to get a reaction. They want me to get all excited. And I was like, oh, you guys, you know? And I realized that they weren't even talking to me. Like, I didn't even need to be there. They were talking amongst themselves. It was not for me. And I was like, oh, I was just like watching it play out. I was like, this for real? I was like, oh, snap. Like fixing my beanie and everything. Making sure everything was in order. I was like, this is gonna be it. This is it. Like, I try not to get like that. I try not to be like, oh, fangirly and whatnot, but I also want to be real, you know? And I've been like I'm like the biggest kind of fan you could be of Bobby Lee without being weird about it. You know? Because you know how, like, when you're a fan of someone, like, there's levels. And, like, at a certain point, it's like, oh, they probably don't even want you really to be a fan because now you're weird. And now it's, like, sketchy. Like those fools that get tattoos of Joe Rogan on their body, like that. I'm not like that. So I would say I'm the biggest kind of fan that you could be without being weird about it. So I was like, oh man, like this fool's gonna know that I'm alive, you know? Like I was like, this is my moment right here. And I see his name pop up in the Zoom. The little square says Bobby Lee. I was like, oh man, this is it. We're going to hit it off. Like, we're going to start riffing and whatnot. We're going to start cracking jokes. And then Bobby's going to be like, hey, get Santino out of here. Bring this fool in. It's going to be like two beanies, one cave. Like, we're going to be like, that's it. We just became best friends, you know? I was like, I can't wait. I didn't know this was going to happen tonight. Like, my life was going to change on a Monday night. And then I see his face. I'm a little bit stuck, you know? I'm starstruck. Can't wait to see what's going to happen next. And the homie Gilbert. Starting to make like introductions, you know? So Gilbert, a lot of people have asked me. I posted clips when I come on the We Out Here MMA show. I posted stories and a lot of people are always like, hey, is that fool from Tiger Valley, Gilbert? Yes. Gilbert's like one of the producers. I think that's his official title on Tiger Valley. So that is him. So it was Gilbert. Bobby already knows them. They're like this, you know, they're tight. And then Gilbert was like, oh, and that's Nick. And that's Nick the Ear. And that's Alex. And, you know, he was introducing them. And Bobby's like, oh, I already know these fools. Like, they all knew each other from one way or another. They all play like Fortnite together or something. Like, they've been gaming with each other. So that's like their tight-knit circle. And then Gilbert was like, oh, we got another guy right here. We got another guy that we want to introduce you to. And I was like, all right, here it is. Here it is. I was like, what's up, Bobby? And he couldn't see me at first. So I was like what? And then they're like, no, you got to fix your screen, Bobby. You got to fix your screen. So he fixes it. And he sees me. He's like, oh, yeah, I see him. And he says something that cut out a little bit. It cut out. So Gilbert happened to catch what he said. And he wanted to clarify. He said, this is what you said? And I kind of thought I heard what he said as well. And I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, you know. Just held off a little bit. And then Bobby repeated it. And I was correct. So Bobby saw my likeness. And the first and only word out of his mouth was a four-letter word. He said, yuck. You know, they say that you should never meet your heroes. And Monday night I learned why. And I never had to worry about that in the past. Because all my heroes were dead. Bruce Lee, John Lennon, Curly from the Three Stooges. I never had to worry about that kind of thing. There's only two fools that I got to avoid in my life right now so that this never happens again. Ramsey Dewey and the fool that invented pot stickers. Because I don't want to tarnish that. You know, I want to leave it where it's at. I want to honor that. And most of all, I don't want to reenact what happened Monday night. Gilbert said, Did you say yuck? And Bobby goes, yuck. You know how he does that thing? You know, I know, because I watch every single one of his podcasts. Tiger Badly, Bad Friends, where he goes on his other homies' channels. Yeah. He said yuck. And you can see my face if you play it in slow motion. Bobby, go play in slow motion. Bobby says yuck, and I'm like, if you're listening on Spotify, I apologize. You should get on YouTube every once in a while. But I'm still doing it. I'm halfway done. You know, just trying to play it off. Like, oh, Bobby, you're funny. Oh. And you know what? I'm embarrassed. I don't want to admit that I took it as hard as I did. I don't want to admit that. But I don't do this podcast to not be real, you know? If I wanted to cover it up, then I would turn this into like a 12-minute video, and I would put edits and stuff like that. I would somehow twist up the narrative to make me and Bobby be all good at the end, you know? But that fool did me like Jeremy Stevens. We come face to face, you know, for the first time. I thought we were going to be all good. And this fool goes, boom, like that. And I'm feeling that pain right here. And that's what the Jeremy Stevens do to that fool, the cervix. I'm feeling it right there. Now I know, all of a sudden, I know how Eric Griffin feels. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It hurt. I didn't say nothing after that. I didn't say anything. The rest of the time that Bobby was on there, I was like this. Just agreeing with his picks, you know, like, what am I going to do? And then when he got off, they were like, how do you feel? Like, what happened? What was that? And I was like, I don't know if it got cut out. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it. I told him, I was like, I'm kind of just like at this moment, like this is where my head was at. At that moment, I just needed, I feel bad. I like wanted to redo it because I really like those guys. But I was like, I kind of just need this video to end now. I kind can I just give my picks and then because I need to go and just cry in my pillow. Because that's where my head's at right now. Let's talk. Let's do what we do our thing, and then we're done. Okay, I'm gonna go cry. All right. The only other thing that would have made me feel better is having some green tea at that moment. I don't know. To be honest, I can't tell if I'm more... Because look, at people like that sometimes, like with their favorite comedians. You'll even hear people say that. They'll be like, hey, roast me. And it's funny. Like, they like it. Like, who knows? Maybe in Bobby's head, he's like, this fool's going to have the time of his life if I say yuck. I'm going to do him a favor. Yuck. And maybe in his head, he was just like busting chops, you know? And it was just like, that's our way of being cool, you know? Because I don't want to get like all emotional about it and take it the wrong way. Maybe that's what was in his head. So I'm thinking, you know what? He was busting everybody's chops. He was messing with Alex. He was messing with Nick. Like, he said stuff like that. All right. I'm starting to wonder, is the reason I'm really upset about that whole incident because I feel like I blew, like, my one shot at, like, interaction? Because I didn't say a word to Bobby. I didn't say a word. And, like, the whole rest of that night, again, I don't want to say this. I'm embarrassed. I don't want to be saying this right now. And as like at this moment, as I sit here before you, I'm considering stopping this and doing take 39 and not even talking about Bobby Lee because now I'm embarrassed. But Bobby Lee, you know what? You ruined my night. You ruined my night on Monday, and I'm not going to let you ruin take 38. I'm not going to let you do it. There's not going to be a take 39. Unless I keep biting my cheek again like I just did again right now and I'm unable to speak. And I'm incapacitated. The other day, I actually, I'm giving you real life right now, all right? I'm telling you real life. I keep a spoon in the fridge now. A very cold spoon. And every once in a while, like, I do this for reals. I get the spoon and I put it on the inside of my cheek so the swelling could go down. Because, like, I'm biting my cheek all day. Like, I can't even live like this. This is ridiculous. I bit in my cheek so much because of the overcrowding and whatnot that I have so much scar tissue. No matter what I eat, I got like inside cheek as a side dish. I'm always biting my cheek all day. It's a delicacy. Anyway, big fan of Bobby Lee. Been a big fan of Bobby Lee. One of my heroes, you know, look up to him or, you know, again, metaphorically very much. And I kept thinking about it that night, like before I fall asleep. Like, are you, like, imagine, I know it's easy for you to sit there right now and be judging me and be like, fool, stop it. But listen to me. I don't know what your thing is. I don't know if you're a big old football fan. I don't know if you're a basketball fan. I don't know if you're a music fan. Just imagine that you're like a big fan of football, you know? And all of a sudden, you're at the mall or something like that, and you meet like Joe Montana. Or like Emmitt Smith or something like that. Or you meet Michael Jordan. Or you meet like Shaq or something like that. Or you meet like Robert Plant, or I don't know, one of the Beach Boys, something like legendary to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna have it, like I have this line I'm gonna try to make them laugh, I'm gonna give my card, try to make them invest in my startup, like whatever it is, and then you just blow it. You blow it. You chicken out. You don't say anything. You get stuck. And you just feel like there's this build up, you know, this anticipation. You kind of think like one day we might cross paths, you know, and then you doing this like, it's kind of like anti-climatic, like where you feel like someday, you know, at some point, and then it happens and you're right there. You could like actually say something to that person, and then it just keeps going, and then it's gone. Like the train just goes like that, and it's like, what? Wait, hold on. I wasn't like, come back. What? It happened already? I felt like George Costanza. Like I wanted to turn, like with the joke stores, what's the joke store? The jerk store's running out of you. Like when you want to turn around, like, hold up. Okay, let's do this. We're going to have a little back and forth. And then it's like, now it's too late. The jerk store's closed. They're done. They're not just closed, they're done. They were a mom and pop. And nobody thought they were essential. They are done. That's what happened to me Monday night. Bobby D. didn't think that I was essential. And did I just call him Bobby D. Lee because I stuttered in my moment of rage? Yes, but you know who I'm talking about. And I'm going to move on right now because this is not going to be the Bobby Lee podcast, all right? We got enough podcasts. Eric Griffin. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But I know that what you're here for is you want to hear about the Jake Paul Ben Askren event. That's what you want to hear about. And I thought, you know what? The best way to do that event justice is if I make them wait like 11 hours before I get to it. Just like the actual event was. The Triller event. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if you saw that event. Unfortunately, because of what I do for a living, I had to see the entire thing so that I could give you information about it. I had to do my due diligence. I kicked the mic. The event was, it felt like 11 hours. It was 3 minutes. It was 3 minutes long, but it felt like 11 hours. That actually would do the event justice. It was the time recorded, at least. I mean, I could go back and look at it or whatever, but the time listed that was recorded down for the full runtime was 3 hours and 57 minutes. I'll give you a few moments to guess how many fights were in that event. 3 hours and 57 minutes. And now I'm afraid that you're going to do that thing. You know when someone tries to tell you, guess how much? Guess how much? And they guess like way off and it ruins your whole point. And you're like, whoa, fool, you overdid it. I hate when that happens. I feel like that's what's going to happen right now. You guys are going to be like, 2. There was 4 fights. So 3 hours, 57 minutes, that's basically 4 hours. That's basically 4 hours. There was 4 fights. One of them was, supposedly it was a billionaire. A billionaire. He owns like a bunch of nightclubs and casinos or something like that. A billionaire and some like DJ, or he plays like reggaeton music or something like that. Supposedly they started a beef over some girl. That the billionaire guy was trying to get at some girl, and the reggaeton guy was like, I don't know. He was trying to get in the middle. I don't know what happened, but they started beefing. And they're like, let's take it to the ring. Let's call Triller. That's what you do. I don't know the thought process that led there. But they're about to get down in the club. And they're like, hold up. Have you heard of Jake Paul? I think we will be perfect for that event. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. The other fight was Frank Mir and some other guy. Oh, I forgot his name. Cunningham? Something like that. Richardson? I don't know. I don't know why those names sound the same to me. But Frank Mir fought, and that was a very entertaining fight solely because of De La Hoya's commentary. It was hilarious. That fool is out of his mind, and now I'm hearing that they might not even let him box anymore because of how ridiculous he sounds, which is inconsistent because they let Conor fight. So I don't know who's in charge of this. I don't know what the parameters are or who's judging. But you guys got to get on the same page. That's all I'm saying. It's not like I'm foaming at the mouth to see De La Hoya fight. But if you're going to be judging him by looking erratic and incoherent and crazy and intoxicated, and have you seen Conor McGregor? What are we doing here? So there was a Frank Mir fight. He lost. Well, the billionaire, if you care, he won. The billionaire won, as if he doesn't already have everything. And then the third fight was, I think they were actual boxers. That might have been the most entertaining because one of the fools faked a groin shot, and it was the worst fake I ever seen in my life. You have to go look it up. You have to go look it up. I'm actually encouraging you. Please go look it up. It's hilarious. This fool was like writhing on the floor in agony. And they replayed it. he he was like as far as he could possibly be from his groin. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, this fool forgot there was people there with cameras and the instant replay function. And hold on, give me a moment. They kept replaying it, and like, imagine his groin's right here, and that would be the groin shot, you know? The other fool's arm went like clear around his back. Like, hey, I don't want to ask too many questions. I don't know if this fool was born different, or as far as I know, there's no groins back there. So unless this fool's like working with something else, I haven't seen any reports, but that was not a groin shot. That groin shot was almost as far as the one that Usman said Kobe landed on him, if you remember that one. But that was hilarious. And then I wasn't trying to be heartless. I don't rejoice in someone else's sufferings, you know. Not often. And they had to take that fool out on a stretcher. And I'm going to feel bad. I'm going to feel bad if I read about it or hear about it later that something serious actually did happen and it was a misunderstanding. That fool did get hurt. But from what everybody could tell, this fool faked the groin shot. The shot was nowhere near his groin. And then by the time they played the instant replay like 35 times, that fool was like, hey, I gotta double down. That fool like tripled down. He triple dog dared down. And that fool went out on a stretcher. It was funny. It was only funny. Listen to me. It was only funny because you knew he was faking. Imagine you're watching like basketball. You know how LeBron James is always floppy? Imagine like you know it's fake. So you could laugh. Imagine this one flop, and then it cuts away. You see some other stuff going on, and then it comes back, and you just see LeBron James getting tied to a stretcher, and then carrying him out. And the other boxer that knew it wasn't a groin shot, he's just watching the whole thing. He's like, "Are you seeing this?" Because he's looking at the replay with everybody. He's like, "What are we doing?" It was like the Twilight Zone. Oh man, it was more like Matt TV, to be honest. It was too funny. Bobby Lee called back. But the last fight, and then I think that fool thought he was gonna win by disqualification because he got hit in the groin. And then I heard someone. Oh, by the way, Mario Lopez was there. He's one of the commentators. And it's funny hearing Mario Lopez. When that fool was faking it, you just hear Mario Lopez go, "This is embarrassing." Everyone was so mad at that fool for faking. He's getting scolded by Mario Lopez. Slater's mad at that fool. He just sounded like a dad or something. "This is just embarrassing to the sport." Much more than the entire event itself. But yeah, the commentary was ridiculous. Look, I'll say it like someone else said, and who was it? I would like to try to remember. Someone was talking about the commentary that night. Man, I'm not gonna remember. But somebody said after the event, everybody was recapping it, of course, and someone put it this way. He's like, "Hey, I like," how did he say it? He's like, "Hey, I like these substances and partying or whatever." It might have been Chael Sonnen. I can't remember. I'm not sure. But he's like, "I like all this stuff as much as the next guy, you know." He's like, "I have fun. I participate in extracurricular activities, you know." He said, "But this was lame." He said it was like a whole commercial. Like they were just trying to act cool or something, you know. They were just trying to act like the seniors going off campus or something like that. They were trying to act like, "Hey, everybody, look at what we're doing. We're cool." And the whole time Snoop Dogg like trying to give his stuff to everybody and share and just get all messed up. And I think that's one of the places they went wrong with this event. Like the first time, It's like, what? Snoop Dogg's a commentator? And that itself was funny. Then you expect commentators to be like, to have a level of professionalism, you know? And it was funny because Snoop Dogg didn't. And he was riffing and he was cracking jokes and people were like, where is this coming from? This is funny. He's like, he came into it like Craig Ferguson style, you know? He's like breaking the mold. And people liked that because it was off the cuff. It was unexpected. But this time, with this event, it was like, hey everybody, I'm Snoop Dogg. I'm the funny guy. And I'm going to be cracking jokes. And I'm going to be going against the grain and being real crazy. And when you do that and you have that self-awareness, then it's like, oh, you like commercialized it now. Now it's weird. Now you know that you're being that guy. It's not funny now. It was funny because like De La Hoya, that was funny. I know not everybody agrees because of his struggles and stuff like that. But we don't know him personally, so we don't have to feel that pain. So when you see someone like De La Hoya do that, everybody laughs, everybody has a good time, everybody enjoys it. It's all over Twitter. It's GIFs, it's memes. It's a good time, you know? But imagine the next event, De La Hoya comes on and he's like, hey, everybody, I'm the guy that gets drunk and gets crazy. And then it's like, nah, that would still be funny. Nah, I'm playing. I couldn't help myself. That would be lame. It would be lame. When you have that self-awareness and now you're playing that part and now people know that it's an act, you can't get away with that. You can't. And it was awkward. And the commentary had like 15 people on it. And like nobody had the right chemistry. And it was so cringy and so awkward. I don't know if the producers were like, hey, you know, Pete Davidson was doing that thing on like somebody did that to him. And they're like, hey, Pete, get out there. Pete Davidson was there. He was like, I don't even know what he was. Interviewer, MC, I don't know. There was so many people there kind of like doing the same thing. There was a certain point where the commentary was so ridiculous. Pete Davidson just starts walking around like an old man, like he didn't know where he was. And then the guys are like, whoa, oh, Pete Davidson, oh, it's going to get crazy now. Look, oh, Pete's here, look at this. It was like the equivalent if they were like, hey, that's the funny guy, tell us some jokes. Like, what do you expect him to do? It was so awkward. And you could even see on Pete's face, like, what do you want me to, you have a joke book or what? Like, that's not how the comedy works. And he's just kind of lingering, and then he takes off because they didn't have a chair for him. It was weird. It was so weird. It was so like unplanned. Ric Flair shows up. Ric Flair is in the building. They're having he helps Pete Davidson host a slap. What do they call it? A slapping contest. And then there was some girl. They called her a supermodel. I never heard of her in my life. Amy something. I'm not sure. Her and Mario Lopez were talking. I don't know if anybody caught this. The girl was like, oh, I'm having so much fun. I haven't seen live music in like months and months and months. This is like Lollapalooza. And I was like, do you hear what you're saying? You're completely feeding into like what everybody makes fun of and hates about these events. This is a boxing event. This is a boxing event. And you're on this live stream saying, I'm so glad to be here because I miss live music and this is like Lollapalooza. And then Mario Lopez, I forgot what he said, but he basically confirmed what she said. There was, I wrote it down in some document because I'm working on a breakdown. I believe there were 11 musical acts. 11 musical acts. And they all sang many songs. And they were all naked. A lot of people were mad about that because of kids watching and stuff like that. But to be fair, if you had your kids watching, you should be mad at yourself. Even before you knew what it was going to play out like. Ben Askren was talking about how he was actually calling different parents and say like, I'm sorry, I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed, I don't know it was going to be like this. And you didn't feel like that the moment you told them that you were in the fight? But of course, fight number 4, Ben Askren versus Jake Paul. And look it. I'm going to tell you how I feel after this. Hold up. I don't want to say I told you so. And I don't have to. Thankfully. Because most of you have already gone back to my prediction video and said, you were right. I follow you now. I give you all my trust. I've seen different variations of that same comment over and over. How did you know? And look, I didn't want. Look, I'm conflicted. I kind of changed my mind over time. I've been saying since day one, I want Ben to win. I want him to win. I'm gonna be happy for him if he wins. I'm gonna celebrate for him. But I think Jake will win. I was saying that the whole time. And, you know, all the reasons make sense. Ben didn't care. And he still said it after the fight. He reiterated, he said, I told everybody that this was for fun. And he likes to talk about how he used to box with his friends in high school. I was going to have a good time. I wanted to make some money. Like, he said all his reasons, which were like, I don't care. Win or lose, I don't care. He said he's, and this is all documented. I'm not just going off the dome below the beanie right here. You could go look this up. Ben has said time and time again, I'm never going to be a full-time fighter again. I'm never going to pursue a championship again. I'm just out there to have fun. If something seems interesting, I'll just do it for fun. I just want to make money. He doesn't care. He says, if win or lose, I don't care. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to still go on and do my podcast, coach wrestling. He's all good. He doesn't need to win. Jake Paul, he's hungry. He has an ego. He has a lot of pride. He wants to shut up people who speak out against it. He's very hungry. And it might not be for what people would consider the best reasons, but it doesn't matter. He's hungry. And I knew that was going to be enough. A lot of the time, that's what it comes down to. I think a lot of people get it twisted, you know. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like hearing this. But sometimes you look at someone and you like give them those quotations, you know. Like, that's an MMA fighter. You know, he trains at this gym and that. And when it comes down to it, you got a human being and you got a human being. And they got a certain amount of limbs. And someone's going to come out winning. When you're in there going toe-to-toe, you're not sitting there with some pen and paper saying, how many hours have you spent in the gym? And what year did you start training? How old were you? Okay, and who is your coach? And what's your record? Okay, and what's your... No. You just go and things get crazy and things get wild. All of a sudden something cramps up. All of a sudden something opens up. Someone moves their head at the right time. You never know. You never know how it's going to play out. And people doubted him because they were stubborn. I said on my video, on my prediction video, do you choose Jake Paul or do you choose stubbornness? And I had people blatantly, you could go look at the comment section of that video. You see time and time again comments that just say stubbornness. I choose stubbornness. All right then. And then I started to like change my mind even further about wanting Ben to win. And I thought, you know what? I don't know if I want him to win for selfish reasons. Because if Ben won, then it would have been over. He'd make that money and it's done. And then the whole Jake Paul thing is dead. And people would be like, okay, fine. It's over. You got exposed. You're not undefeated anymore. And they wouldn't be interested. Yeah, would there still be some people? Like, let's say Ben Askren won the fight. Would there still be some people who would want to see Jake Paul fight his brother, Logan Paul? Sure. People will buy that. Would people still want to see him fight KSI? Sure. There's a lot of people who watch YouTube that would love to see that. But it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same crazy big freak show, you know? I was thinking if Jake Paul wins, that's going to be a better narrative. That's going to be more exciting. Who's he going to fight next? Dana White? Like, where's this going to go? He's going to end up in there fighting like Shania Twain or something. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be funny. If it would have been Ben Askren, it would have just been over. And we don't want that. I mean, at the end of the day, we're consumers. We're fans, you know? We enjoy watching this stuff. So we want to see more of it. Everybody that was talking papas about it saying Jake Paul's this, that, he's not a fighter, this is a stupid fight. Oh, but you were watching. Oh, yeah, but I didn't buy it. Oh, so even worse, you risk a virus on your computer. Even worse than the $50. Now you want to get a virus, so that's how much you want to see it. You want to get a virus on your computer so that your stream is always shutting down while you're trying to stream the Mexican Fight Companions. I gotta figure that out. But Jake won. I thought he was gonna call someone out after the fight, and I was disappointed that he didn't. I guess it makes sense though. There's money to be made. It does make more sense for him to take his time starting beef with someone else and letting that play out and get crazier and crazier and go throw like diapers at him or whatever he did to Dylan Dennis. He can't fight Dylan Dennis next. He can't. After fighting, like, if you know who Ben Askren is, good for you. Like, we know who he is because we're in that community. Go ask someone at like Walmart, hey, you know Ben Askren? They'll be like, who? Does he work here? Like, sometimes we feel like these people are like the biggest thing ever because we're in that community. But you ask someone else, they're like, I don't know. Is he like a K-pop dude or what? Dylan Dennis? Who's gonna know Dylan Dennis? You could ask fools in the Bellator roster who's Dylan Dennis, but I don't know. Is he from 1FC? It's not that easy. He's got to keep moving up. He's got to get a bigger name. It's going to have to be like, he's going to have to fight like Wendy Williams or something next. Something that's like, that like your grandma knows. Something that's like a little more mainstream. Imagine Jake Paul, Dr. Phil. That would be bad. I would buy that one for sure. I'll pay for that. But it makes sense that he's going to take his time, try to let something build up. Maybe he wants to look at other MMA fighters, see who's winning, who's losing, because a lot of people are saying the very next thing he needs to do is I keep adjusting myself right here, and I don't know. I think you can see me. I think you've been seeing me adjust myself throughout this video because I thought my hands were out of the shot right here, and I think you can see me. Yeah. A lot of people are saying that the next thing he needs to do is box a active MMA fighter, because that's a step up, because Ben Askren was retired. Now he needs to go with the active MMA fighter, or someone who's a boxer but at the same level. And even he himself was saying, don't give me someone crazy who's like a legend already, who's not at the same level. Like, give me something reasonable so I can work my way up. But I mean, to be honest, both of those sound boring to me. I want to see Jake Paul boxing like, I don't even watch movies anymore, so I don't even know who's famous. I want to see Jake Paul boxing like Seth Rogen or something like that. To me, that's more entertaining. Because, like, who wants to see two fighters fight, you know? It's like, oh, another two fighters fighting. Like, I see that every weekend. I want to see like real people fighting. I think I just need to go, like, on World Star and get the itch out or something. I'm not sure. I might be talking nonsense right now. And Dana White's upset because Snoop Dogg is saying, where's my money at? And Dana's like, I was never even Snoop Dogg's friend. I don't even know what that fool's talking about. And he's like, hey, fool, shut up. That's illegal. But Snoop and De La Hoya, I mean, by that point, they were like, so Dana's probably like, fool, you ruined it. You need to shut your mouth. Now people are going to be looking at my offshore account and whatnot. But Dana White saying that it didn't happen. Dana White is insinuating that he thinks that Ben Askren took a dive. Look, I want to touch on that real quick because I know a lot of people have been talking about that. And I know that I say that. So I'm not hating. I understand what it's like to be of that perspective, like talking about the Cerrone fight, stuff like that. I 100%. And I seen the footage afterwards. I don't think that's what it was about. About Ben Askren, his wife smiling and stuff. I do not believe that Ben Askren took a dive. I mean, he literally like dove, like his body dove after he got socked. But I don't think he took a dive in the sense that people are talking about. when they say that. And let me explain why after this green tea break. You could see when Ben Askren gets hit, he's out. He's out before he hits the floor. You could see his body go stiff. He's done. He hits the ground, wakes up. So people keep saying, he got up fast. That was early stoppage. He got up fast. Okay, come on. If you wake up in the morning, first thing, you already hit the snooze like 17 times and then finally you're up on your feet. Are you ready to throw hands? No. Ben Askren was out. Didn't know what was going on. When he got back up, he barely thought the fight was starting. He's like, are we going to touch gloves or what? What's the rules? He wasn't all there. But people are like, oh, his body got up real quick. That doesn't matter. You know what actually does happen when you get up too quick? You get that like, you know, sometimes you stand up too fast. You're like, whoa. So that's not even a good excuse. It was not an early stoppage. Look, I'm the first one to let you know when something was an early stoppage. I'm always keeping it real. That was not an early stoppage. You got to think about everything. You got to consider everything. I've seen the fight over and over and over again. I got to do that because of what I do, because of the breakdowns and stuff like that. Have you seen it like 40 times? I've been replaying it. Ben Askren was out when the shot hit him. That floor woke him up. He gets up. Immediately go back and watch the Masvidal fight and then come back to this one and look at Ben's face. He has that same look on his face, that same one, like he didn't know where he was for like 30 minutes. Remember that one on the canvas where he gets up and he's like, he had that same face. So he gets up, stumbles, falls back on the ropes. Okay, he's done, ref. This fool was out. Canvas woke him up. Stumbling, falls onto the ropes. Come on. So he falls onto the ropes, stumbles off the ropes, still never loses that look in his face. And then the ref's like, all right, you good? And then he has the other guy, and then he's like, all right, go ahead. Like, all right, let's keep fighting. But then, and I don't really understand what causes the ref to do this. I don't know if he has an earpiece or something like, hey, fool, what are you doing? Or if he just like remembered, oh, wait a minute, I forgot a step. Because, you know, sometimes adrenaline's going, things are crazy, maybe you forget something. After he was already like, all right, you're good, all right, continue. Then he stopped himself. He turned to Ben, and he goes like that. He wanted his hands. You know how they do that thing? He's like, and I played it so many times, I can't hear what he says. I played it like too many times. You can't hear what he says. I was assuming he says something like, give me your hands, let me see your hands. I don't know. But it had to be something like that because you see him going like this. He's looking at Ben Askren, and Ben Askren just goes like, yeah, okay. And then he starts walking forward. Like, imagine the guy's right here going like this, looking at him. Like, hey, come here, walk to me, give me your hands. And Ben Askren goes like this. Imagine the guy was right here. That's how it was. Looking right at Ben Askren saying that. And Ben goes, yeah, okay. And he marches forward like that with his face still like that. And the guy was like, all right, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. He's not all there right now. And he says, that's done. He's not understanding me. And then even when Ben Askren was contesting, he's like, what? How? Let's start the fight. Like, he thought the fight was barely starting. He's like, well, are they going to pay me? We got to fight. There has to be a fight. And the fool's like, hey, fool, you were already fighting. I don't know how it's kind of frustrating, to be honest with you. Just like how I told people, you got to pick Jake Paul or you got to pick stubbornness. Even after seeing this, the fact that people are calling it's actually kind of disrespectful to Ben Askren. The fact that people are calling it an early stoppage after seeing all these things. It's like, what did you want him to do? He's going to get killed. And the only other thing that I've heard is people saying there's been refs that let things go on way for, okay, get Yamasaki in here. And then the next morning, Ben Askren is dead. All right, congratulations. What do you want? Yeah, there have been other mishaps. There are the Yamasakis and the Herb Deans of the world that mess up fights. That happens. Why do you want them to mess up Ben Askren's? You don't want him to be coherent enough to enjoy his money or his Bitcoin or whatever Jake Paul sent him? You should be happy for him. It was not an early stoppage. There is that alternate universe like Adesanya where I would be happy if Ben Askren won, but also people don't want to admit it. Like, in one way it's good for the fight community, another way it's bad for the fight community. A lot of people wanted Ben Askren to win on behalf of the fight community, but whether they want to show their faces or not, there's also those people for the fight community in the fight community that thinks it's a good thing for Jake to win because, like I said, it's more exciting. People keep feeding more money into the fight game. Who knows? Maybe at a certain point, Jake Paul will get in the cage that feeds more money into mixed martial arts. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's bringing eyes. Hey, Conor's annoying. Conor never shuts up. Conor never stops having all these accusations and run-ins with the law and stuff like that. And people always want to go on and on about how he's been so good for the sport, how he's brought in all these eyes. Hey, is Jake Paul not doing the same thing? And I will reiterate, I am not a Jake Paul fan. I am not a Jake Paul fan. All right? But we're being inconsistent here if we're going to act like we're okay with Conor and people like that being good for the sport and not Jake Paul. The only way that he's not good for the sport is because he's making your favorite fighters look bad. That's it. That's it. And I know it stings, but let's be consistent with our arguments here. Potential Jake fights. I'll be very curious to see down below, you talking about who you'd like to see him fight next, because I don't even know. I know I was throwing out some random things, but then you get like these ones that will be super creative, super funny, ones that you would enjoy, and then ones that would just be weird and random and like, no, those are the same. There's the super random ones that would be crazy and interesting, but then there's also the ones that make sense, like someone who's also a boxer who's kind of at the same level. But honestly, that sounds very boring to me. I know a lot of other people have Whittaker and Gastelum on their mind right now. And look I couldn't bring myself to watch it. I couldn't. I know a lot of people were calling it a technical masterpiece and this. And that's what people say when the fight's boring. That's always what they say, like every time Adesanya wins a fight, every time John Jones wins a fight. It was a technical masterpiece. He broke him. Oh, that means it was boring. Every single time I tried to click over, because I had the Triller on and I had UFC on. Every time I click over, oh, Robert Whittaker's throwing another oblique kick to the knee. That's every Whittaker fight. Oh, there's another one. Look at it. You almost missed it. There's another oblique kick to the knee. Every fight. It's either that or they're just laying on the floor like, who's going to get on top? Who's going to get on top for the next couple minutes? And then over here, you got like Snoop Dogg and De La Hoya. It's like you got a carnival over here. I mean, it's like a crazy kind of like a sketch show or something. And then you got this oblique kick and like rolling around. It's like, hey, this one's going to win every time. I know there's people who want to be purists and everything, and they take a lot of pride in and being loyal to that. But hey, I want to be entertained. All right, I gotta say, I want to be entertained. And if I'm looking at Robert Whittaker over here, just throwing kick, keeping the distance, and I got De La Hoya over here talking about the USSR, what do you think I'm gonna be watching? Plus, I paid for that one. But Whittaker won, and okay, it's going to be a rematch. Like, all these fools, like, who's Adesanya going to rematch? It's nobody new. And as much as I don't care about Adesanya, I still think his skill set on the feet is bigger. I mean, unless Whittaker just keeps taking him down. If Whittaker actually takes him down, all right. But I think Adesanya's too long and too good on the feet to let Whittaker take him down like that. I mean, everybody could look at me. I'm thirsty. I'm trying to drink some tea, and I'm looking. Oh, it's not time yet. If this is like your first day here, by the way, Adesanya is probably like my least favorite fighter on the earth, and maybe even person. But I'm just being objective here. Yes, everybody is like, oh, we've seen the holes. You just got to take them down and stuff. Even still, I guess that's how much disrespect I have for Whittaker. Even still, I feel like Whittaker's not going to be able to close the distance on him. Because you could say, I mean, like, you fools watching right now, you know the key to beat Adesanya, right? You just take him down and stay on top of him. All right, go do it then. That's how I feel like with Whittaker. Like, well, Adesanya knows how to not let fools close the distance most of the time. He's long. He's good with the stand-up. He has already been in there with Whittaker. I think I know how it's going to go. A lot of people are talking about Zhang, about Rose. Man, that's a tough one. I really, really like both of them. Zhang is very likable. I don't even know how to say her name. I'm a little bit self-conscious about it. I don't know if it's Zhang Weili or Weili Zhang. I think I always hear it spelled one way, but then everyone pronounces it the other. I don't know how that works. But I really, really, really like both of them. Even back in the day when I would talk about like Stipe Muchacho and Daniel Comer, or like Max Holiday and Volkanovski. Like, there's certain matchups like, man, I don't want either of these fools to lose. I don't know if I've ever felt as conflicted as with this one. I really like both of them. I've been like more outspoken over the years about liking Rose, but I really, really, really like both of them. And Joanna is already trying to call out the winner, saying that this is gonna be the baddest one, and whoever. It's like, hey, fool, they already both beat you. And I don't care what anybody says, both of them did it decisively. I can't believe some people thought Joanna beat Zhang. Those are like the same fools that thought that Ben Askren took a dive, that it was an early stoppage, that he was going to beat Jake Paul in the first place. It's all stubbornness. It all stems from stubbornness. But if I had to pick, I think I would say Rose. And my only reason, because Zhang is a beast. She's a beast, and she has so much heart. She has so much power. There were a lot of moments where I was getting frustrated with her, though, when she was fighting Joanna, because I really wanted Zhang to win. And I don't know if I'm going to put this in the right words, but the best way I could think of it is it was a lot of like stiffness. I would see Joanna moving in and out and being so slick and being creative. And I felt like Zhang was taking so many hits that she didn't need to. I felt like she was stiff. And if I remember correctly, didn't have great head movement. And I remember seeing her take shots. And I would see her just leave openings that I was like, what are you doing? And I almost felt like she had that Nogano thing where she has so much confidence in her strength, in her power, in her build, that she was like, I'm just going to keep moving forward and bulldozing you, and I'll take shots. And there were moments of the fight where I got real concerned, because there were moments where Joanna looked really good, and I was getting concerned. Rose is so smooth and slick, and she's a good fighter too. The way she moves around in there, and her creativity, and that fight IQ. And of course, this is assuming that Zhang has made no changes over like more than a year now. But from what I remember, just based off of what I'm seeing, and that's the only thing I could speak on, of course, I will have to pick Rose. I like them both. I like them both a lot. I'll probably be just as happy if either one wins. But I think I have to pick Rose because I think she has a higher fight IQ. I think she has more tools. I feel like Zhang is a lot. I feel like she's more one-dimensional. And obviously it's been enough to get her to the point where she's at now. But I just, that's I guess a compliment to Rose. I think she's that versatile, you know. And Joanna is like, get out of here. Just go. You and Paige Van Zandt just need to go like start a like a joint Instagram or something. Like, you just figure that out, you know, capitalize on that thing. And I'm not trying to be like misogynistic or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, hey, I'll say the same thing to a guy, you know, like, if that's what's working, what are you doing? What's the point? Like, why put yourself in danger? If that's working, why wouldn't you do it? And then why would you jeopardize your ability to do that? Look, I don't want to start a war. I know what you guys are already thinking. I know you're scheming. I know you're plotting. And look, I appreciate it. All right? But it's all right. It's all right. I don't want you to go after Bobby. All right? I don't want you to go after Bobby Lee. I don't want you leaving no comments or stuff like that, DMs. That's not my style. All right? Don't go at him. I don't get down like that. I'm just going to let bygones be bygones. Start watching a little bit more Riffing with Griffin. Woo, woo, woo! And I'll get over it. I'll get over it. Life goes on, you know how they say. Obla di obla da. And I want to thank you for watching this far. I wish I would have said way earlier in the episode a word that you could put to support, and I forgot. So if you made it this far and you're like, I don't know what to say, I don't leave comments. That's not my style. You know, I'm gonna keep it easy for you. Just put in green tea. Just put green tea. Because a lot of people tell me stuff like, hey, I don't leave comments. I don't even know what to say. This is the first comment I ever left, but I want to support. Just put green tea. If you're a person of few words, just put green tea. I don't know. Because I am learning as time goes on. Every little bit of interaction with the videos does help. Likes, comments, shares, subscribe, put on notifications, all that stuff, obviously. I appreciate you all being here. I'm still working hard trying to get my next breakdown done. But I'm trying some different things. I'm trying to have some fun with it. And I just want it to be the best it could be. I just hope by the time I get it out, it's not old news. But thank you for watching Below the Beanie. Appreciate it. Good looking out. Lay. It's not time for a green tea break, but I'm thirsty. Kirkland, if you are watching, I truly do prefer you over Lipton, but Lipton, I will still take your money if you are watching.